Alright, so here we have Stefan as Vietnamese and we have BruH as Indians. Let's talk about these players real quick. Stefan, I've always said, is probably one of the best meta players for Arena. His gameplay is just generally very impressive. He has pretty much perfect builds. He knows what he's doing. He will always, you know, analyze his map, analyze his civ matchup. He will think of probably the best thing he could do. So that's why I watched Stefan, that's why I quite like to see him. Over here we have BruH. BruH is a Brazilian player. He's currently 2k2. I think he's been 2k2 for a little while. I think he's hit 2k3 at some point. I don't know that much about him, but I do speak to him occasionally, especially in Stark stream. So, overall, decent enough guy. So let's take a quick look at the maps. Over here we have Vietnamese with, without a doubt, the worst map. You could have, you know, it could be worse. Both your extra sheep could be out here, 2 extra boars here. It could be pretty nasty, but either way, 1 inside gold as his main gold, and it's very, very forward. And his main stone is literally as forward as you get. You couldn't, like, it couldn't even glitch through the wall to get any further away from you. That's just terrible. So I do feel a little bit sorry for Stefan here, especially with Vietnamese. Vietnamese being just generally a low tier civ in most maps, really. Indians could be very good. They're good against certain civs. They're not like particularly tech tree advantageous late game, but they do have some nice options as well. At the same time, it's surviving very, very early. BruH being a pro, pushing his sheep outside the gate just to open it. Over here we have, as I said, Indians, but this map, he has a nice safe backstone, and the safe golds and an extra gold really do make up for this quite bad main gold. You can expect the enemies to put on the pressure so they don't die late game. I'm about to cough, so 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So we're not going to see too much action here. Both players are going 4 on wood. This is Arena with an E, I believe. Yes, it is, but I'm not entirely sure we're going to see either of these players trushing. So both players just going to... I mean, I'm going to assume BruH's going to boom. I don't think he wants to do much else. He does have a nice map. He has some nice safe golds. He does have, you know, crappy main gold. Not very good main stone, but... second stone in the back is enough for a castle if he needs one. After booming, and you know, the gold mine here and the gold mine here is just cheating, really. Let's take a look at his scouting. He did scout the extra in the back. BruH has quite good scouting of everything. That's why he's now pushing his deer. Over here for Stefan. That's my caps lock, okay. Yeah, there's not much for him to do. I mean, he could push these deer. He does, of course, know Stefan's very far away, so he knows there's lots of map in the meantime. If he wants to take map control, maybe scouts, and... I mean, Indian players can go scouts, but if he wants to just straight boom, we're probably going to see maybe Stefan here going scouts, getting relics, taking some map control. If you have a really good map control, and you know how to use it, and you have 5 relics, you know, civ win isn't that bad. It still matters, but you're definitely such an effective position. You can put ineffective counters, and just have enough of them. 4 berries for what I believe is both players. 5 berries, something happens. This is actually quite fast up here from BruH, apparently. No, it isn't actually. I don't know why he's going on gold so early. I guess maybe he just built the one house, wants to put a gold miner quite early. And maybe he just wants to use 1 villager to collect all 100 gold by just putting one on very early. I don't really know. Interesting though. 2 lumber camps coming over here, probably some kind of boom. He wants a lot of wood anyway, so what Stefan usually does is at 19 population, he will then make a second lumber camp and put 4 villagers on it. And then usually if he's doing something like 26 plus 2, he'll add an extra villager to wood, so he has 9 on wood. And that gives him a lot of wood for, you know, decently fast up FC. Strategically it's quite good. Lets you get a monster right away, lets you 3TC boom behind it. Yeah, here we go, add 1 to wood. also actually gives you enough wood to make a stable and go scouts, or you could actually make a barracks archery range and go archers. Archers is not bad for taking the map, especially crossbows. The enemies are actually, you know, quite good for this with their crossbows. Ah, okay, we're seeing an extra one being added to gold from BruH. He's gonna have a bit much gold, but it's fine. He's going for 25 plus 2, it seems. We're looking like a 27 plus 2 over here. I'm thinking Stefan maybe wants a little bit more economy at this rate. I don't quite know what his plan is going to be, but I do think it's likelier to be archers. Siege tower could be quite effective. He doesn't have enough scouting to really see that though. And BruH has no idea where Stefan is, but he is pushing deer. Still, they were quite they're not bad deer if they're just outside, but it just takes that much longer. That is very, very noticeable. We're gonna see scouts here coming out from BruH. Unless he just wants to go like stable blacksmith just to up instead of making scouts. I think that's fine. I mean, the camels with the extra pierce armor are still decent enough against archers in the absence of knights. I'd prefer Indians. Probably, for me, the bottom civs on Arena are Vietnamese, and that's pretty much it. Low tier, I've actually got mines. I don't like mines. They're a bit weird. Although then again, I do have very odd playing preferences. Like I play quite a bit of Arena flank. Arena Puck is my favorite position in any game, but I mostly play 1v1s. I do prefer Arena flank to 1v1s though. Stable, that's unusual from Stefan. I don't know why he wants to go scouts vs Indians when he could just go archers with the map control, and when he has map control, get monks, siege tower in, do some damage, just, you know, delay him at least while you delay yourself to get yourself in a much better position. Maybe he's just assuming that BruH isn't going to go scouts, but that's a pretty insane assumption, I think. BruH a bit low on the farm count. Did he get horse collar? Because he should have a bit more food than he does. No, he didn't. Now he's getting horse collar. Get horse collar, start laying down your farms. Pretty easy win after that point. Lots of food for that, but yeah. A little bit confusing why he was a bit low on food. Stefan, 5 farms. It doesn't seem like he wants to even dedicate that much in scouts, but he didn't add any to his wood count. He just went 1 to gold, 1 with food. No, he does have these stragglers. And 1 to gold, okay. Seems like he's just going to try build a monastery, try get relics, so that's probably why he's going to go scouts. I really don't understand why he would go for a stable as a... Yeah, then he's going scouts. I mean, it's perfectly fine if you want to just use a stable to FC, but not if you're a civ that has better archers. VS a civ that's massively anti-cavalry. I like Stefan's build, but I'm just not that big of a fan of, oh, spear. Stefan just knows. But Stefan doesn't see the stable, but he's VS Indian, so I guess he assumes. Smart enough decision. Don't know what we're going to see at this point anymore because I wasn't expecting the enemy scouts. And I'm not even really sure what that leads on to from this point. Making a spear though a little bit risky, especially with the wolves on the map. 1 wolf and good night Vienna for your spear. Both hit at the same time, but I think BruH is going to try and run away. No, he doesn't. He just takes the extra hit. And BruH has lost his scout as well. That's pretty risky. Siege Workshop Monastery though, he was up a lot faster so he could afford these things. He should be possibly adding a 2TC and just doing a small 2TC push here. Instead he's... it's not really spending the food he has. He is making an extra scout though. Bow saw but no heavy plows, so I would get heavy plow at this point because of the delayed Castle Age. The longer you are in Castle Age, the more likely I would say you are to get heavy plow. BruH adding his own spear, but he is massively behind in scout HP, and there's not much you can do against this. 2 TCs coming up from Stefan. Stefan wants to boom behind this, just getting a bit of equal advantage. Not massive against Indians, but if he forces the Indian player to heavily invest, then it's fine. Don't quite know what BruH is planning to do with the Siege Workshop at the moment. Scout over here being healed, quite a good move. Saves you 80 food, and just delays your monk from picking up a relic for a few seconds. Monk about to be sniped. BruH complaining a bit of lag. Stefan not properly running away from a couple of scouts though, so spear about to get converted, just delete, just delete. There we go. Smart enough play. These players are about to probably pick up their closest relics. Did BruH already bring in a relic, or is this map missing one? I can only see 4 relics in the map. One could probably be an asset. Doesn't show up on the minimap when it's surrounded by the gold. Third TC coming up from BruH. We are seeing a current 6 village advantage for Vietnamese. Not big, but you know, if he goes something into, if he goes quite quick into things like ARPs, maybe he wants to go Halb, Cap Tram. It's probably effective enough if BruH's that far behind, but as Indians, his economy just isn't going to be. Now he's adding TCs, villager wise, he just won't be. He's a bit low on farms, but he doesn't really need them. He's adding spears though, so it's going to be a little bit costly. If they do have a lot of lag though, this is a little bit of a problem for them. This Mangonel needs to hit the spears and then the scouts kill the monks. That Mangonel's a goner, he should have sent it back to the hole in the wall. Camel added for BruH. Stefan has 1 monk, he is not heading to grab another. A bit confused. If I was Stefan, I would add a monk right now just because the camel spears and the monks. There's no scouts there to really deter you. Indian monks are actually not the worst, but they're not good for smushing. So BruH seems to have forgotten he should be trying to pick up relics though. I'm not really sure why he's not taking up relics when he is forwarding like this. Because this isn't a forward to gain any advantage, just maybe get map control. But he's not going all into it, he's not getting relics. Not the best play by BruH here, but he is still 6 villagers behind. Camel either getting converted or deleted in this case. Fletching coming from Stefan, is he going to be clicking up anytime soon? No, he's going cavalry archers. I can live with Vietnamese cavalry archers actually. They're not as good right away as the cavalry archers from Indians, but it is really nice to have their HP bonus. It's actually similar to Franks. Franks actually have mediocre cavalry archers if you're not too interested in thumb ring, if you're not massing enough of them to actually take those kind of engagements. Franks are generally not the worst for cavalry archers, but Vietnamese are decent enough. Quite beefy. I think Stefan is going to be a little bit delayed upping, but not all too much because obviously cavalry archers aren't going to cost him food economy. I think he does want to switch into something like ARBs though. If it was me personally, I would have probably gone the route of Expo. Expo are still decent enough for sniping things like, you know, monks, spears, camels reasonably. Not as well though. But they are cheaper and you can live for longer. BruH just casually sitting here with monks, letting this be rewalled. Kind of wasting his time there and losing a camel to a Mangonel. 2 relics for Stefan, going to be 3. No one outreaching to those relics on the left yet. Stefan getting wheelbarrow, a little bit late, but Conquerors at the same time. A little bit food costly, especially when he's not had wheelbarrow. He should probably at least be getting hand card now. I want to see BruH's resources. BruH is behind in gold. Where is it all going? Redemption, okay. Not really sure why he went for redemption as Indians. It's it definitely pay off for him right now. But it is significant investment for not all too much. He's going to stop the occasional one Mangonel from sniping his monks, but I don't think it's going to do much else. And BruH using all his monks to convert one Mangonel. Both players just steadily booming. I think I see more stone economy coming in from the Indian player though, BruH. 11 stone miners vs 5. Economy's looking pretty good for either player, but I'm seeing significantly more lumberjacks and gold miners for Stefan, so I think Stefan's going to up and he's just going to go straight to whatever archer he wants to. I like cavalry archers in this situation. They're just generally good sniping monks, Mangonels, camels and spears. Maybe not camels as much, but decent enough at this rate. But he needs to stop this university again build. If he stops his uni going up, then he stops BruH from imping, I believe. Oh, never mind, he has these two already. So what does BruH want with the university? Not the most sure, but I'm fairly sure BruH just converted 2 houses with 3 or 4 monks. I only come here for the pro content. BruH maybe should consider adding an RTC. He could be fully boomed very, very quickly. He is ahead of Stefan now. And I don't really see how Stefan's going to plan to stop this. He does have botkin arrow. And the problem is now BruH is imping. 60 HP because of the enemy's bonus. Flat out 20% is literally build lines. This all looks like it's been cleared up, but I don't see him with an answer to their Mangonels at the moment. There is one monk, so he does have his own Mangonel. He could start using it now, and he could just be these two, even these two actually could snipe this monk right now. And the monk is getting sniped. There we go. All he has to do is now is just run with the CA, and these Mangonels are going to die to both the TC and his own Mangonel. This is nice padded archer armor coming in, but there goes his food economy. How many farmers does he have right now? Strategy? What? This is a cast. The strategy from the Indian player has been some kind of semi-forward smash, a lot of spears. It's not an all-in smash really, it's just more of a cause some delay while he booms in the back, which he has successfully done. Stefan now healing the CA. He does have a much worse imp sieve though. If BruH imps, that's going to be a little bit of a problem for him, as in a huge problem. BruH finally building a castle. I like this castle. Good castle. Unless he loses a lot of CA, right? Oh, that's just what I'm saying. Every time. The castle that Stefan was going to build, he's not going to build anymore. I think he should still give it a go though. Just have a little bit of a risk. Give it a go. Stefan selling resources to click up. 3 relics for him. These 2 still untouched. I don't know. I feel he should be thinking about going for them. He does have scouting of both of them. Lots of camels being massed and the pierce armor is there. The castle is probably going to get denied now, especially since Stefan just isn't using either of his monks. He did quickly wall that in though, so he might be good. Oh, but then BruH just comes in to finish off building that castle. Especially with BruH already being imp, unless his castle is denied, then it guarantees that Stefan's going to lose his. Stefan really needs some units out here. He needs to get these CA out here and just quickly put a couple of shots on these guys to delay them enough to build this. Oh, Stefan not focus firing. Now he is. And that's looking pretty GG there. We're going to see probably Captron. He didn't research Captron yet, but he's making a treb, which is fine. I think Stefan was this, he's just ahead to Imp that much faster. Stefan almost Imp, chain boarding armor, no, chainmail armor, he wants to go halbs. I'm okay with that. Full halb against Indians is not the worst thing you could do. Even Petard's coming in to knock this castle down faster. Pikemen now being researched. This castle will go down, but it's going to hold. I think Stefan really should. Why does he still have so much stone? 1.3k and he's building a second castle. He really overmined that without paying too much attention to it. I think you should have a little bit more consideration with that one. He's creating more CA, just I guess something to pad things out with. He does have reasonable resources, like he could sell quite a bit of that wood. I don't know what the price is at the moment. Wood, well, since Stefan's now selling the wood, the wood price has just gone down. Squire's Halberdier. I like these upgrades, but heavy camel coming in from BruH. 2-man saw, he's getting some eco upgrades, he could afford to. Now what's going to happen when Trev starts hitting here and there's, you know, 10 heavy camels, which BruH doesn't seem to be making. BruH actually now running with quite a bit of stables, not one of them active. And the forward castle, that's pretty ballsy. We have enough helps here though to actually start denying this, so I don't think this castle is going to go up. It might just do if Stefan doesn't try to focus down the villas as much as he should be. And that is looking quite towards the GG mark, I think. Stefan running around not getting enough snipes in the villas. He's now just going to be camping under a castle. About to lose a decent portion of his main gold. Also he's about to get broken in over here. I think please tell me BruH's making camels. Is BruH making anything? The amount of resources he has, but now he's thinking of going skirms. Pretty curious decision. I think you can clearly see he's ahead in the army. He just VS a limited number of halberdiers. He should just keep making camels, because even if they're trading badly, the fact that they're trading at all is very good for him, since he's basically won this game if he does get capped ram. Something to break in and he has the units. I am quite happy with Stefan's play here though. 3 Trevs out, he could actually take down this castle very easily. Just get full helps to surround it, then you have other options. BruH's going to turn the upgrades: Conscription, Bracer, Ballistics, Thumbring, Elite Skirm, Light Cav. Light Cav E-Skirm, a little bit odd, but you know, make it work. Kill the siege with the Light Cav. I don't know what siege Stefan wants to go for. I think he maybe just wants to go Trebs. What are we going to see? Captram, Scorp. Chemistry coming from BruH. He wants to make HC, I guess. He got oh no, of course he just wants extra attack in the skirm, so I don't think he wants to go HC in this matchup. Too risky. That's a lot of Trebs dying just to not having your helps beside them. It's a little bit irresponsible. And the accuracy of this is absolutely terrible. Better lose 1 Treb packing it up, not good. Scrubs coming out, these things are almost fully upgraded, just a couple armor upgrades. Stefan getting Bracer and Arbalast, I think maybe I would cancel Arbalast upon seeing this. Maybe I would probably start focusing on going to something like Halb plus Imp Skirm. It's not the best combination, but it's a nice cheap trash combination. What I'm saying is that BruH is going Elite Skirm. Skirm plus Light Cav. As I said, it's just a bit odd, but I think E-Skirm help might be okay. I think now it's just a matter of trebs to knock down people's buildings. These extra golds here, those are really just going to harm Stefan though. Stefan is almost out of his main gold, he needs to move over here. And skirms are just stopping that from happening. He doesn't have a wall here. He has this though, he knows there's a relic there, but he isn't going to pick it up. And again, he might lose some trebs to Light Cav. No, he isn't. BruH backs up. Bomber Cannon is going to be very, very nice here. They could definitely snipe the trebs from a very long distance. A lot of helps, but we're not getting heavy plow, a really late heavy plow on Captram. Captram is okay against E-Skirm, but it's not the best when they're mixing in things like, well, now Hussar. Imskirm is the Orblast you never had. Imskirm is an Orblast. Not entirely sure why Stefan is engaging in this fight. He engaged it either too late or too early. Too late because he already lost a bunch of his helps just messing around here. And too early because he didn't then mass more. He should be packing up these trebs though, it just feels like they're a little bit wasted sitting there. And that's his only siege. Here we go, boys. Here we go. Elephant Archer's coming out. This is... The sad thing is he isn't even getting elite. He's just making these because he already has the upgrades for all archers. Armskirm's right here? What is he missing? He's missing chemistry and one of the archer armors. Is that doing 10 damage a time to an elephant archer? Wow, that's genuinely quite impressive. Without chemistry, these Imskirms are actually doing 2 damage to the BBC as well, which is funny. For you if he does remember to get chemistry. Over here though, siege being cleared up just by the Hussar. Is Stefan making more help? No. It's one semi-active rack space, just not making helps. His economy is... it's balanced, but it's just not being spent. The lack of chemistry here is going to really hurt him, but now he's going to get raided by Hussar, so... I don't think it's just too great. We've seen a few helps trying to raid over here, we did see Captran break in. But BruH now owns this corner. BruH owns most of the golds on the map, especially since he had one of the extras in his back. But yeah, I'm surprised he just isn't making helps, because they actually deal with the Elephant Archers okay. If he can get this gate up, sure. But he's going to lose a lot of his villagers in the process. Look at that economy wise, 141 for BruH. And only 108 for Stefan. Oh, that's unfortunate. This mining camp is just right in the range of the castle. He's going to lose probably all these villagers. I don't think he's going to notice, but it doesn't matter. He's overboomed anyway. He could probably use this as a free recollection of reality. Stefan can afford one, but he's not going to make a trap. I would... if I was him, I'd make a trap here. Since you're congregating your army here anyway, you might as well try and push this off. Especially if this is going to get destroyed, you want to trap this castle. Elite Skirms, helps behind, and then just switch positions as soon as the Hussars come in. Are we still missing chemistry from... does he even have a... no, he does have a university. The food price is presently... he can sell it for 66, that's quite a lot of resources you can get. So I don't understand why he's not buying chemistry. It makes this, you know, significantly noticeable, especially against the bombard cannons. The amount of gold that just gets lost by a bombard cannon dying to skirms is huge. It's worth losing a whole bunch of skirms too. Iron casting now coming in for the Hussars, for BruH. BruH selling some resources. He has 5k gold. That's... He's taking all that gold. He's taking that gold, but he hasn't taken the second gold. And he hasn't taken this one yet. And now BruH is bringing in those last relics. Well, he won't get this one, but... Complete civ disadvantage over Stefan. Such a bad civ. He did play it well, but... a little bit dubious. Especially the late chemistry. The late chemistry I've seen has actually killed a lot of players in a lot of games. This ain't looking good. I think Stefan could wall this, but it's probably not worth his attention. He does need those farmers though. He has a lot of wood. 500. Maybe not a lot. But he has no food to lose and he's about to lose it, so... Thanks, nobody. BruH is consistently playing. No flame of yet, best if to get SO. I don't mean to disagree with you, Alti, but I think the whole world does with that comment. And GG called. Quick look at achievements. BruH really overboomed. I think when BruH started to lose villagers, he decided to overcompensate and just... He went from 140 villas overboomed to 155. That's quite nice. Stefan could have captured 2 more relics, but he just didn't. That might have made a good trade, you know, an extra, you know, would have been 600, 700 gold. Would have been very useful. He was also a bit underboomed. He didn't have the map space though. Don't really see what he could have done because he couldn't really regain map control because he was being pressured all the time. So you know, that might just be a thing. But yeah, he didn't have the resources to support making full trash, which actually is what he needed. Force economy better for BruH. Lots of units lost is mainly the hubs, so he wasn't using his hubs too well. Largest army 50, but when you've only got 114 population villager height, that's staying like 40 villagers underboomed the whole time. That's not a good thing. BruH massively overboomed, but he did pop cap himself quite easily. I was meant to go to my reg folder, but then just randomly start standard game every time. Alright, I'll start this game in a minute. I'm just gonna head to the bathroom. Just we beget. Let's start off with game 2. By the way, there are... all the games are Stefan. 2 of them are VS BruH. I think 3 are VS Darknet, but I don't remember. I downloaded them this morning. And I've worked since then, which means I'm completely brain dead at the moment, so... let's just jump into this game. And my spec overlay decided to just disappear for a day. This happens on the odd occasions. I don't really know why, but I have to restart the game for it to happen, or to fix. If anyone knows for a fix of how to stop spec overlay from disappearing after watching 2 or 3 games and have to restart my game to get it back, then please let me know. Okay, here we have Stefan vs BruH, as per usual. We have 2 pretty nice infantry civs at the moment, well, generic civs for infantry. We have Goths, of course, probably the top infantry civ, but obviously no eco bonus. Regarded as quite low tier on Arena. Used to be similar to Vietnamese. Of course, they are the enemies of the Vietnamese, they would destroy Viet in a matchup. But no eco bonus, you know, it isn't really behind any that are. Tunes, top booming civ. They have good anti-infantry options, obviously the Teutonic Knight and Hand Cannoneer. They also have their own infantry like champions. So let's look at the map for the Goth player, Stefan first. It's nice he has a second gold inside, in case he's pressured from the front. It might be viable. But I wouldn't rate it as a great thing. Main stone pretty forward. If he has another stone outside, that's not good. Let's take a quick look. Yep. So again, this map he's Goths and he has very dangerous stone. If he's pressured, then he's not going to be able to do quite a lot of things. If he's hit with something very, very fast, maybe a very fast out smash, you know, he's not going to take that much stone in the meantime, but probably enough. But late game castles, maybe not quite a thing if he is, you know, smushed anything quite early. Main gold, pretty safe actually. I would say this is a decently safe main gold. He has an extra in the back here. He has a decent back area this time. This is, you can fill a lot of farms back here if you're wanting to have a back economy if you're pressured. Which is, of course, very, very good for the Goths. Nice 4 inside deer. It's always nice to have 4s. It's a noticeable boost to the economy. Not the best boar, and also just wibbly things. Glitch villagers. BruH over here with two berries inside his base, which is not, it's not that great to have 2 berries inside your base when you're something like Tunes where farms are cheaper. If you're something like Franks or Japanese, then it's absolutely amazing to have double berries. Otherwise, you probably just want a TC one if it's, you know, in the back somewhere maybe. Not if it's quite that forward. Unless he just wants to defend this area for some particular reason. Either way, 4 inside deer again for BruH. This is arena with an E, I believe. Yep, straight up arena. So Tunes, generally good civ. Yes, it's a reasonable gold. I would say this is quite good main gold, but I'd also be a little bit wary just because it's, if you're trying to wall off against anything attacking you quite directly, maybe even Oscars you might see from Stefan, it's maybe not the best. Main stone, really safe, really nice. Second stone's outside, but if you have a nice safe either one, then it's quite good. Again, map hacks, he has an extra stone in the back this time as well as a second gold. Overall, they both have very safe for booming maps. Tunes, of course, very good at booming, and Goths, of course, very good if they boom. Those are 2 quite distinct things. Distinctly different, I mean. What are we going to see from Ooh. Stefan's not going to be in time with this boar, but he'll take the sheep and then it'll be fine. Should be on time. At least I hope. That's quite some distance. I would be a bit concerned. He's bringing the sheep up. There we go. Both players, very good maps though. Goths are generally just favoured, but you never know what this. Oh, that's dangerous. I am not liking this for Stefan. Stefan needs to add 2 farms at the moment, straight away. He's adding 1. It's good enough. In arena, it doesn't matter as much if you're late with the boar, because both boars will still be done anyway by the time you're up. So essentially, you're just taking the same amount of sheep. Well, the same amount of food. I think Stefan's going to do a similar strategy. We might see 26 plus 2 here though. I don't know if he wants to go scouts. I would consider opening scouts via Tunes. I mean, you want to take away the relics from Tune players. They could definitely use the gold. Their options are very, very good when they have gold. If you're Goths and you have that much gold, then your economy is just that much further ahead. Food is the main objective, and if you could just basically have 5 relics, you don't really need that much gold income at all. Especially with Gus. It's a little bit hard to explain, but if you don't need something and then you have it, it puts you ahead a lot further because it's actually quite an investment to basically not just keep adding farms to get a lot of food. Okay, so we're going to see him going on stone. Probably not 3TC, maybe just Castle Huskarls. Huskar play is actually okay, I wouldn't really do it against tunes too often. Tune player up very, very fast. That is a 26+2. Decent bit of wood. This looks like a boom build to me. I reckon he'd be a little bit more on berries and probably 1 lumber camp maybe, if he was planning to smush. Might be good for Stefan. It's very, very good to have Goths and have someone try and boom against you, assuming that you're going to boom. (28+2), fairly standard build order for a castle drop from Stefan. This is the amount of wood I usually have, but I don't actually believe it's the best amount of wood to have. I think maybe it's a little bit too much. It's the amount I usually have. I want to just place a defensive castle and then boom behind it. But that could work if flank. It never will work in 1v1s too well, because if someone's doing a straight boom, they'll just be up that much faster and the castle is useless. So it's kind of a risk with the reward strategy. Whereas in TGs, you're taking less of a risk because you have pocket to back you up only a couple minutes later.
Hey, sir.
So it's fun. He might want to boom behind this, or maybe he just wants to make a lot of Huskarls and then just basically spam farms so he can afford them. Don't really understand the plan. Scouts here from the Tune player. Scouts is a nice opening. You don't really want to not have his red John. Alta, you are correct, but also you are a big fan of the other John, aren't you? Is the volume fine, by the way? Like, can you hear the game at a decent rate? Dream player clicked up. 26+2 scouts. Okay, I could live with it. Decent bit on gold though. I don't know why he wants 5 on gold. That's pretty heavy. Maybe he wants to add some knights. Fast in Viking pocket, yes, John. And thanks, nobody. Maybe he wants to add knights expecting Huskarls. Did he scouted the stone? So that's reasonable enough. He's not adding any scouts. Can't afford to, but I don't think he will add scouts. He might do. Yeah, he is. But I would probably add knights if I was him, just because he spotted that Huskarls will be an issue. Fair enough to defend. He's got a little bit of walling off going on here. He did mill the extra berries after all. Stefan building a defensive mark and blacksmith, just the best wall to protect the front of his base, you know. 4 on gold. He's not planning to add a monastery. If he is, he's crazy. Can someone tell me if 4 on gold is enough to make 1 castle Huskarl? I think that's probably correct. It might be give or take 1 though. Monastery come from Tune player, pretty forward, double monastery. Scouts into double monastery, that's some new meta right there. He does have 10 on wit, but he's not going to be able to afford Siege Workshop that soon, nor he can Siege Dry after it. Not to dismiss 20 range 5-hour Buyman. Okay. Well, at least he made some units out of them and researched them. Beats Red John any day. Siege Workshop now coming out. 5 on gold is not enough to run anything. I don't see why he's not adding extra TCs if he's not going that heavy on gold. That's a lot of farms as well. He's going to cause some delay, but it's not going to imp that fast. So Stefan's now up, he can now afford to add TCs. So he's going to boom. And if he needs to add a defensive castle, he's going to add one. Or maybe he's just waiting to see where he needs to build one to stop the smash. One villager randomly walking in the complete opposite. I would delete that villager, just heresy. That's so stupid. That's I just that was just so broken. Stefan maybe might buy 100 stone. Yeah. Just to make up for the 7 he's currently missing. You know, as this attack is coming, maybe he wants to build the castle here. I wouldn't build it yet, I would convert the villagers first just so they can see. Stefan did get loom. Delete, delete. There we go. I think Stefan would have been able to spot, BruH would have been able to, oh, he could obviously see it in his range anyway. That's fair enough. So BruH's economy at home, is he adding TCs? Yes, he is adding 1. He collected a relic, nice. Doing what Stefan did, another relic. He's going to have... Oh, that's some unfortunate scouting. In Arena, you must always scout the borders of the map, that's where the relics tend to be. I like that this is going to be defended, but without stone walls, Goths have a little bit of a problem defending this. Can Stefan mass enough Huskarl to kill the smush? No. I think if BruH even gets to something like 8 monks, then that's probably too much for Stefan to deal with. Just get Bodkin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think maybe he wants Bodkin before... Did I say Bodkin when I meant to say fletching earlier? I think if he gets Bodkin, then he should be pretty well defended. BruH now getting Sanctity, a little bit late on the monk upgrade, but you know, Goths aren't going anything to kill your monks at the moment. No real units. I would seriously be considering adding something like just Huskarl massing some units at this point. I mean, there's only 4 units here, so one Mangonel could cause some serious damage. I think there is a gap there. That's what it is. Yeah, it's a gap. One house down, one clear path through. Stefan doesn't seem to do anything about it. I think maybe he should try building a gate that direction. That way he's pretty safe, since obviously BruH is still blocking the way. Mangonel coming out. Redemption coming out for BruH though. Just in time. But he's probably going to lose his Mangonel here. Yeah, 1-for-1 trade. BruH could actually afford to have the 1-for-1 trade though. This haul feels a little bit late. We're seeing wheelbarrow come from Stefan. Stefan seem to forget to... I'll try to learn English one day, but that day is not today. Stefan seems to always consistently be quite late on wheelbarrow. He's mining gold back here, which is very, very nice, because I think BruH's going to take Stefan off this gold and think he has it. He's now converting houses. Stefan is quite far from housed. Mangonel will be useless at the moment though. 4 relics for BruH. BruH has the gold. His farming eco is huge, I think he could click up soon. He's on 3 TC. Stefan's slight villager advantage, though he did lose a couple quite early. And obviously he's probably going to be idling his TCs just to keep things running. But this is looking like he's going to be relatively fast to him. I don't think it's going to be waiting that much longer. Adding a couple of Conquerors. I'm not entirely sure what Stefan's plan is. He does have the gold in the back, which is going to probably keep him alive. He does have the farming economy. But things just feel a bit underrun at the moment. Okay. Oh, separating those, so that's a problem. Although when these are converted, then Stefan could just convert a couple of them back. At least he should be. And the monks just aren't getting sniped fast enough, they're being healed even. So we're currently seeing... Okay, these monks are now out of faith, that's actually quite useful. Stefan does have the extra Huskars to finish this off, but he isn't. But this is now all up again, so this is quite good. And that monk is just trapped. And that was a little bit unfortunate, but these monks should have their faith back unless they're dead. Oh no, they're still alive, just. Okay, so what are we dealing with at the moment? Oh, this has been get converted and deleted. That's astonishing. Stefan about to imp, but he's not making anything else. Why isn't he imping? Now he is. BruH already halfway up to imp though. BruH's gonna have the text. He's still massing monks, but only 2 monasteries. I think he should probably consider adding some more monasteries just to mass up the monks, get Theocracy. Build a forward castle. Good enough. He's gonna imp faster, just a few trebs. So we see Stefan imping, he's adding racks, but he's not getting techs he needs. I think possibly, if he isn't gonna get them now, he'll definitely start getting things like Anarchy and Perfusion when he sees BruH imping, because if he loses his castle before he gets those, he's pretty screwed. What's the exact cost of Anarchy again? Always slips my mind. 450 food, 250 gold. You can comfortably afford that. Cancel this extra bill, cancel one of these Huskars, research Anarchy. Are we going to see BruH make like 10 panic Teutonic Knights and seemingly accidentally win the game? I think that might actually be likely. Now that's the case, so we're going to see Anarchy now. Seeing champions come out from Stefan. He's a gold man arm line anyway. Currently no Anarchy. That's just so confusing me, the tech choices from Stefan here. We're seeing Cavalier coming from BruH, which is nice. Not what you want it to be going. And all these Huskars are about to get cleaned up with conversions. Not great. BruH is building a second castle. Nice. Definitely denies the stones here. Both players imp now. We're seeing a 11 villager lead for Stefan. Military currently is 5 ahead, and they are a little bit stronger, but no, he just opts to get trebs instead of... I don't know why he wants to go trebs instead of Anarchy. Or even Perfusion, but going champions against Teuton player? That's such an unusual decision. I don't see why he thinks that the Teuton player is going to be going for his own champions. Stefan selling food to get chemistry, does he want to go hand... No, I don't know what Stefan is thinking. He's thinking too much into champion counters, but the Cavalier are going to be a problem for him. Stefan can see the monk still, but he doesn't have much scouting elsewhere. Being 4 relics behind is a big hit to him. Stefan, without any gold, he's not going to be able to make any Huskarls this game, so he's not going to have an answer to Hand Cannoneer if he does try to make a lot of infantry in order to stop the 2D player. But he's not making halbs. Yeah, 200 swordsmen, it's just such an unusual thing to go. Anyway, the Cavalier should be coming in now and just literally cleaning all this up. That's probably enough to at least start taking on the Cavalier, but it's not going to be enough. Iron Casting coming in. Couple of monks with a couple of good conversions. The Huskarls mixed with the very low upgrade to swordsman. No pike being researched. Interesting. I would definitely add pike just to keep things a little bit better. Cavalier got converted and now they're being converted back. And I think Stefan has successfully managed to push this little fight here back. That's a lot of monks that are going to die in the process. Oh, and BruH randomly sending in one Treb into the mess. Pike's already coming out, skill mail armor coming in for BruH. BruH wants to go his own infantry. Don't see any text being researched though other than just the one armor, so... Oh, Teton Knights of course. That non-elite 5 melee armor. He still actually takes a significant amount of damage. He still takes 9 damage for 200 swordsmen. Now 8 and soon to be 7. Then after that 5. And then when it's elite, basically nothing. That Treb snipe was really unfortunate, especially with Stefan just doesn't have any stone. I don't see how Stefan can push this one out unless he just goes like full champion, okay. BruH now getting loom. And thinking of going his own champions apparently. Oh, he meant to get tracking when he decided to get Man of Arms upgrade. Also, hello Norther. He researched chemistry, he might as well start making hand cannoneers now. Unless he just makes enough monks to start converting these Teton Knights, that'd be a good meme. Yeah, that's a good 300 hits worth of melee right there. I think the Mangonel right now would do a lot more damage than these units. He does have enough of them though. 3 castles with this many Trebs though. I mean, these monks alone are just going to convert the course of the game. I think it's looking pretty GG for a Goth player here, simply because he just doesn't have many units. He did add a lot of... He is now adding hand cannoneers, too little too late though. What does he have to take down this castle? Bomber cannon? Nope, he's making Captron. Interesting choice, but I don't think it's going to work. You've seen the Teton Knights backing up. I think BruH might be considering elite here. You can certainly afford it. Yeah, there we go, there's elite. I don't recall Stefan getting arson. No, he hasn't. I would have vows him just because it's probably a little bit more effective. Aside from that, he's still doing very, very low damage to his elite, and currently not elite Teton Knights. I think the champions are still quite a fair trade for the amount of gold that they cost. Although Stefan, of course, is only on 1 relic as opposed to 4. All he has to do is take down this castle, and he does have a large map position again. Larger anyway. As I said, he's got a lot of farming economy back here. Where are the hand cannoneers being massed? He has 4. Okay, it's not quite enough. Not quite what he needs to win this one. 3 Teutonic Knights now in with the 13 melee armor. That's going to be quite effective against something with only 15 attack. Okay, the hand cannoneer numbers are actually starting to mass. 6 is now starting to look like it killed 10 Teutonic Knights at this point. I think maybe he works his way up to 20, but you have to remember that BruH does have Cavalier researched. Blast Furnace coming in as well, so the Cavaliers already have +4 armor, I believe I saw. So this is going to get cleaned up quite easily unless we start seeing helps being added from Stefan. Stefan does have the population room to do that though, but I think he really does need some helps. He doesn't have that researched. He can't afford to research it, I don't believe. If he cancelled this many champions, then yeah, he could, but... Wood still sells for a fair amount, 48. Food still sells for a fair amount, 71. Stone still sells for 94. If he had any to sell. Let's take a look. BruH is still has a decent amount of stone. I believe the other one was here. So, you know, he could actually make this 2-ton and egg thing work, but 2-ton nice plus Cavalier, expensive combination. Cheap combination to have HC plus help, but we're not seeing help, we're seeing champion, so. I still don't quite understand this, why you would go champions in this situation. Because hand cannoneer should be enough to deter any infantry. And then you need helps for the cavalry, because you're not going to see anything too ranged coming from Teutons. So he's pop capped on this army, he needs to actually get rid of it. He needs to start deleting that stuff. This disengagement right here. This is game costing. Such a risk. So those champions are just going to get cleaned up now, and now the HC have been cleaned up too because of this mismanagement. And are we seeing... We're seeing this overqueuing here where he's still just going to keep making champions against Cavalier because he can't afford to start mixing in pikes. Does food still sell well? Food still sells for 67, he could actually buy halbs if he wanted to. This economy is going to have a little bit of problems, so it's going to get raided in this farm area right here, but that's not a huge problem. He's going to lose a few villagers, he's a little bit overboomed, 130, so it's fine, but hand cannoneers are coming out slowly. He doesn't have the room to have enough ranges, I don't believe. Still making champion because he overqueued his ranges, like his barracks. This one in particular. He's not going to have the units out that he needs. It just feels a little bit odd. Well, I don't think that BruH needed to siege that game though. Cavalier was probably the smartest option he could have made. And Stefan just wasn't making any pikes or halbs. He was making hand cannoneers as counters to any infantry, but still making champions. I don't see why he would need champions unless he just wanted to use them as siege. But then he's got bomber cannons here to research cav ram if he wants something gold, more gold economic. They could definitely put halbs inside of. Then he just has hand cannoneer backing everything. So I think that's probably where he went wrong in this game, but he did play well. He was Goth, so no eco bonus against Teutons, which is not the fairest of matchups. Uptimes both pretty similar, something faster for Stefan. Stefan went up 1 pop more, I believe. Stefan a little bit late down, considering. But he never researched Anarchy, which I think he could have done. I think he really should have, because I could, after he's gone halb, HC, BBC, then he probably wants to have Anarchy at some point to defeat a few more counters. A lot more units lost, typical Goth KD, but he didn't win the game, so. I like BruH's play there. Also, welcome Ultra, if I haven't said already. I will BRB in 2 minutes.